everyone, my name is Tasya and welcome back to the Enterprise Risk Management Academy. This is our third episode of the ISO 31000 series, and you might want to grab your coffee and put on your thinking cap because this episode will be practical in your day-to-day lives. This image is a risk management process. As you can see in this picture, the risk management process should be an integral part of management, embedded in the culture and practices and tailored to the business processes of the organization. FYI, there could be many implications of the risk management process within an organization. Of course, it is customized to achieve objectives and to suit the external and internal context in which they are applied. There are 6 steps of the risk management process, which consists of the 3 primary processes and 3 supporting processes. And although those steps are often presented as sequential, in practice, risk management is iterative in its nature. The 3 primary steps of the risk management process are scope, context, and criteria, risk assessment technique, which includes risk identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation, and last, risk treatment. And the other 3 supporting steps of the risk management process are communication and consultation, monitoring and review, and the last one, recording and reporting. So you might wonder, what are the differences between the primary steps and the supporting steps? The primary steps should be executed sequentially and iteratively, while the supporting steps should be implemented in every primary step. This means while you're practicing the primary activities, you should always communicate, consult, record, report, monitor, and review every step of those activities according to the risk management framework you have. Okay, let's dive in with the supporting steps first in detail. Communication and consultation. The purpose of communication and consultation is to help relevant stakeholders in understanding risk as a basis for decision-making and as a reason why certain actions are required. Communication is simply used to assist awareness and understanding of risk, whereas consultation is an activity that seeks feedback and information to support the decision-making process. Various perceptions, opinions, and feedbacks from different stakeholders are really important for us to take into consideration. Monitoring and review. Monitoring and review aim to ensure and improve the quality and effectiveness of the risk management framework design, implementation, and the outputs from the risk management process. Monitoring activities are carried out during the risk management process. Besides, review activities are carried out periodically due to the risk management process and its outcomes. Both monitoring and review should be a component in the risk management process and involve regular checking or surveillance. It can be periodic or ad hoc. One more thing, responsibilities for monitoring and review should be clearly defined before practicing the risk management process. Last, recording and reporting. Before deciding or anything else, we need to see real and actual base information to get a good outcome. Reporting the whole risk management processes, its activities, and results are an integral part of the organization governance. This should enhance the quality of dialogue between stakeholders and support top management and oversight committees in meeting their responsibilities. We're done with the supporting stages, and let's discuss the 3 primary steps. Scope, context, and criteria. The purposes of establishing scope, context, and criteria are to adjust the risk management processes, support effective risk assessment, and adequate risk treatment. This component includes determining the scope of the risk management process and understanding the external and internal context. We first need to specify the main scope our organization covers, relevant objectives, and the alignment of organizational goals. Next, the context of the risk management process should be determined based on the understanding of the external and internal environment in which the organization operates by taking into account the specific environment of the activities to which risk management is applied. Last but not least, organizations should first define the criteria before evaluating the significance of the risk. The criteria should reflect our values, objectives, and resources. It is the amount and type of risk an organization is willing to take to meet its strategic objectives. Risk assessment. Risk assessment is about the real implementation of managing risk. This technique gives you a clear picture of how to manage risk from the beginning until you can decide what kind of treatment for every risk you face. There are 3 steps in risk assessment. We have risk identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation. Risk identification first. The purpose of risk identification is to find, recognize, and describe risks that might help or prevent us from achieving objectives. It is important to identify the risks associated with not pursuing an opportunity, since an unidentified risk at this stage will not be included in further analysis. Risk analysis. The purpose of risk analysis is to comprehend the nature of risk and its characteristics, including, where appropriate, the level of risk. In this step, the risk is analyzed by determining consequences, their likelihood, and other attributes of the risk. An event can have multiple consequences and affect multiple objectives. Existing controls and their effectiveness and efficiency should also be taken into account. Risk analysis can be qualitative, semi-quantitative, or even quantitative, or even a combination of these, depending on the circumstances. And I will explain this method in more detail in the next video. Risk analysis provides input to the risk evaluation to decisions on whether risk needs to be treated and how, and the most appropriate risk treatment strategy and methods. This goes to the last stage in risk assessment, which is risk evaluation. The main purpose of risk evaluation is to support decisions. Risk evaluation is a process that compares the level of risk found during the analysis process with risk criteria established when the context is considered. The process could lead to a decision to undertake further analysis, or could also lead to a decision not to treat the risk. This decision will be influenced by the organization's risk appetite and the risk criteria that have been established. Okay, we have finished the risk assessment. Now last, risk treatment. The purpose of risk treatment is to select and implement options for addressing risk. We can start the risk treatment process once you have finished the risk evaluation process. Remember that. Risk treatment involves selecting one or more options for modifying risk and implementing those options. Once implemented, treatment provide or modify the controls. Risk treatment involves a cyclical process of assessing a risk treatment, deciding whether residual risk levels are tolerable, if not manageable, generating a new risk treatment, and assessing the effectiveness of that treatment. Okay, is it too much for you to understand? No problem, you can always go back from the start and rewatch the video or ask us any question below. We will create more detailed topics related to this process in our next video. Thanks for watching, and we hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more educational content like this only in Enterprise Risk Management Academy. Bye!